Welcome to the tutorial for the DC Landmarks Logic Puzzle. We start by clicking the space bar on the White House to start. And we have to that gives us that the White House is on Team White and the building where Abraham Lincoln was shot is on Team Blue. That is Ford's Theater, is on Team Blue. I'm on the same team as the three landmarks that are located entirely in the state of Virginia. Those would be the Pentagon, Mount Vernon, and Arlington National Cemetery. I'll come back to these two clues later. The Pentagon gives us the clue I'm on the same team as where Marian Anderson gave a concert after being denied access to DAR Constitution Hall. That would be the Lincoln Memorial, which is also on Team Blue. Now, Arlington National Cemetery gives us the clue no teammates of the building with the East Room and South Portico, the White House on Team White, are in this row or column. This row, this column. All other rows and columns contain at least one of each team. So none of this row and column can be on Team White. That'll become important later. Mount Vernon gives us the clue there are exactly two memorials on each team with a 555-foot tower topped in aluminum counting as a memorial. That's the Washington Monument up here. Now we know that the Lincoln Memorial is on Team Blue. We know that the FDR Memorial, the Jefferson Memorial, and the World War II Memorial can't be on Team White, which means that the remaining two memorials, the Washington Monument and the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, have to be on Team White. Now the Washington Monument gives us the clue the two memorials along the tidal basin are on the same team. The two memorials along the tidal basin are the Jefferson Memorial and the FDR Memorial. And we have one memorial unaccounted for, which has to be on Team Blue. That completes the first of three stages. Once you get the memorials, you've got enough clues to start helping you get most of the rest of the clues. And the three things in Virginia. Now, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial gives us the clue no building that's on the reverse of money is on Team Red. We know where the Lincoln Memorial, the White House are, but what we don't know is that the Treasury Building on the back of the 10, with Alexander Hamilton on the front, can't be on Team Red, which means it has to be on Team Blue. Now let's work on the Capitol. The Capitol, we have this clue. We actually have two clues that say the Capitol can't be on Team Red. We know that, because it's the Charles Bulfinch designed building containing statues of Will Rogers and Junipero Serra. We know and we know it can't be on Team White because the buildings that house the three branches of government are on three different teams. The White House houses the executive branch, and the Capitol houses the legislative branch. So the Capitol has to be on Team Blue, which leaves the Supreme Court for Team Red. The Supreme Court gives us the clue. The building containing an interactive newsroom and a large chunk of the Berlin Wall, that would be the museum, isn't on the same team as anything on the former grounds of Robert E. Lee's plantation. We'll come back to that in a minute. First, I think we need to knock out the clue of the Jefferson Memorial. I'm on the same team as the building where Woodrow Wilson is buried. Woodrow Wilson is buried in the Washington National Cathedral. So the Washington National Cathedral has to be on Team Red. It says there are three members of Team White in this column. And we already know two of them, and we know there has to be a blue one from the Arlington Cemetery. So we know that either Watergate has to be on Team White or Team Blue, and Museum has to either be on Team White or Team Blue. But we know that the Museum can't be on Team Blue because it isn't on the same team as Arlington National Cemetery. So it has to be on Team White, and Watergate has to be on Team Blue. Now let's look at the clue for the FDR Memorial. The museum is on the same team as Harry Truman's temporary residence during his presidency. The White House was being rebuilt during that time. Truman lived in the Blair House, which is also on Team White. Now, Treasury Building gives the clue there are no museums affiliated with the Smithsonian Institution on my team. That means the Air and Space Museum cannot be on Team Blue, But most importantly, it means the Smithsonian Castle can't be on Team Blue. So it's on Team Red. Oh, it also means that the Museum of American History and the National Zoo can't either. But we gotta knock something else out first. The Smithsonian Castle says, I'm on a different team from the building where you can catch the Silver Meteor or the Northeast Regional. Union Station. And the museum says a stop on the Red Line, the Mark, and the Virginia Railway Express isn't on the same team as the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. But the Union Station has to be on Team Blue. Now, let's look at this row for a minute. We have 2 blue, 1 red, and the J. Edgar Hoover building can't be on Team White because it's in the same column as Arlington National Cemetery. That means the Library of Congress must be on Team White. Ooh, there are 10 members on each team. I wonder if that helps us any. Let's see how many we have from Team Blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So nothing else can be on Team Blue. That helps us in this column because we already know nothing could be on Team White, so that means the National Archives, the J. Edgar Hoover building, really expecting the FBI headquarters to give you a useful hint, and the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal all have to be on Team Red. And now we're in the home stretch. Just gotta do some mop-up work. Now let's look at the National Zoo. National Zoo can't be on Team Blue because we're out of Team Blues, and this gives us the hint the home of Mei Chiang the panda is on a different team from the collection that began with Thomas Jefferson's private collection. So it can't be on the same team as the Library of Congress, which is Team White, so it's gotta be on Team Red. It gives us the clue the building that houses the Spirit of St. Louis isn't on Team Red, which means the Air and Space Museum has to be on Team White. The National Archives gave us the clue, I'm on a different team from a performing arts venue that has honored Bill Cosby and Aaron Copland. Again, Kennedy Center can't be blue, we got all the blue we need. So Kennedy Center has to be on Team White. Now, let's look at these two. I think we can knock these out pretty quickly. Watergate says the National Gallery of Art isn't on Team Red. So it's got to be on Team White. The Blair House says the museum containing the original Star-Spangled Banner is on a different team than a memorial that contains a statue of Fowler the dog. Fowler the dog is honored in the FDR Memorial, which is on Team Red. Therefore, the Museum of American History has to be on Team White. That just leaves us Embassy Row, which is not mentioned in any other clues. Let's count up how many we have from Team Red now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need a 10th one. That's Embassy Row, and that completes the quiz.